Hello, good morning, and welcome to Breakfast with Unity. Grab a cup of Joe and join me, and we're going to make some stuff in Unity. So, today we're doing a laser dot, very basic one. So the first thing I'm going to do while we discuss what we're doing is I'm just going to quickly install the character controller asset package here. This is built into Unity, super useful, especially for doing quick prototypes. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up a scene real quick, very basic one. So we're going to create a plane so that we have some place to stand on. We're going to create a cube so that we have something to aim our laser at. And we're going to put the first-person controller in here somewhere. It went somewhere really different than the rest of the things for some reason. And the reason everything looked like it moved is because we now have camera on top of the main camera. I'm going to just make sure that this is marked as main camera. It is. I'm going to get rid of our main camera. We don't need it anymore. And we're going to create a directional light so that we have something in there. And let's just position these things real quick. So we've got our first-person controller. This should be up a little bit. We're going to have just a real small platform to light. We'll make it bigger so that I don't fall off every time that we test something. And then we're going to make our cube a little bit bigger so we can test it. Let's make it 2 by 2 by 2. And we'll just have it floating there, that's fine. So if we hit play right now, we can move around the scene in 3D. So that's what we're starting with. It's a little bit slidey and stuff, but whatever, doesn't matter. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to create our laser projection code. So, what we're going to do is C# script. I'm going to call this project laser is what I'm going to call it. It technically could probably project anything, but we're going to give it a shot on the laser side first. So, snake is not what we need. All right. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a game object. We're going to call this the. I'm going to make it public so that we can actually set it public game object laser. And what else do we need? We don't really need anything else. I don't. So what we're going to be doing is, in update, we're going to have to figure out where we're going to put this laser. So we're going to use Raycast for that. So I'm going to create a Raycast hit. We're going to call it hit. That's what I usually call it. And then we're going to do if physics.raycast, and we need array. So we're going to do transform. We don't need There's a few different things. There's a whole lot of overloads for this, 12 of them to be exact. The one we want requires a direction so that we don't have to bother generating an array, and a hit info. That should be all we need. Perfect. So we can just do origin, direction, hit info. So origin is our current transform with lowercase transform form dot position, and our direction is transform. Why does it not know about the lowercase transform? Whatever. Transform dot forward. And then we need our Raycast hit. So we do out hit. This means that we're going to put information into hit from this Raycast. I need one more of those. So now that we're in here, that means that we have information in hit. We can do hit.point to find out where we're at. So we're going to, okay, we're going to do one more thing real quick. So, public game object laser, I'm going to do private game object laser instance. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our, so if laser instance if the laser instance equals null. Wow. It is warning. Alright, if laser instance equals null, what we're going to do is we're going to create it. So we're going to do laser instance equals instantiate laser, and we will just do transform. Let's just do hit dot point since it's going to cooperate with me better anyway. And then the rotation, let's just do quaternion dot identity just for right now. Probably going to change this in a second. And then we do as game object, so that it's cast properly for storing in the instance there. Else, we just take the laser instance dot position dot transform dot position equals hit dot point. So this will at least give us an idea if things are working. So what I'm going to do for right now, I'm just going to create a why is it doing this? Alright, so I'm just going to create a sphere. We're just going to use a sphere for right now, just to show that it's working. And I'm just going to create a little instance of it, and we're going to put our project laser on our main camera. And finally, what are we going to do? We're going to take the sphere, I'm going to delete it, and we're going to go to our main camera and put sphere into the laser game object. So in theory, if we hit play, there we go. Now, it's hitting itself right now, so that's why it's freaking out. So if we go to the sphere and we make sure it doesn't have a sphere collider, remove component, now it won't actually collide with itself, and it should, theoretically, yeah. So it's going to the surface of whatever we pointed at. So this is exactly how we want to do this. This is working right. It doesn't look right because we have this giant sphere thing, but this is the magic right here. So now what we need to do is we need to actually make a good laser. So I'm going to create a particle system. Create particle system. You don't have to do it as a particle system, but this will give it a little bit more life. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to... whoops. I really want it to focus where it's at, not... Okay, that'll do fine. So, particle system, we're going to change its properties here. We're going to go into shape. We're going to make it a sphere, and we're going to make it a very small sphere. It's going to be just 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the start speed be 0.1. No, that's way too fast. 0.1. No, just 0. That'll be fine. And so you'll see that there's just this ball here now. So we want to make this red so that it looks like a laser. We also are going to create a, we're going to make this additive so that it looks a little better. So we're going to create a, what is it called? Material. We're going to set this, we're going to call this additive particle. I'm going to select the default particle here, and we're going to go into particles, additive. You can add any texture you want to. As a matter of fact, if you make your custom texture, this will look a lot better. So if you go to additive particle, we're going to put this in our particle system. So now it's additive. And so it'll look a little bit more like a real laser. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some, just a small amount of the other colors in here so that we get this this glow effect. It's the reason we're getting that is because we're actually got a bunch of particles on top of each other and they're adding to each other. If we make the emission rate lower, yeah, just about like that. So I want it to flicker a little bit more, so I'm going to just give it a slight randomness to the start speed. So we're going to just do random between two constants, and we're going to make it 0.1. That's too much. 0.01. 0.05. And let's make the duration, the rate a little bit higher, and let's make the lifetime lower. Let's make the lifetime like 0.1. And we can make the emission higher again. So let's do 50. There we go. Now we got a little bit of shake on that particle system, which is nice. And so it gives it a little bit of life. You can tweak with these values a little bit more if you want. This is going to be sufficient for what we're doing for right now. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to just make the start size a little bit smaller, so 0.1. There we go. And I'm going to call this our laser dot. And so now we're going to put our laser dot in here. I'm going to delete it from the scene. We're going to now go to the main camera, put in our dot into here. And I'm going to go ahead and hit apply to the... Oh, wait, I don't want to apply that to the prefab. That's fine. So if we go now, we've got a little laser dot. And it dances around on the surface. So it's it doesn't show up perfectly right now. Like, it clips through a little bit. The best way to fix this is to give it a little bit of an offset. So we're going to go to our project laser, and I'm going to create a public float offset equal 0.5f. I hope this will be easy to do. We'll find out. Because we might have to use mesh colliders to actually make this work. So this is going to be way too much offset. Do default at 0.1. All right. Though we may test it using something like that. So the offset should be hit.point plus something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offset it towards the player. That's probably going to be the safest thing. So we could do hit.point minus or plus hit.normal times offset. This would be like the perfect way to do it. The problem is I don't think this actually works unless our surface is a mesh collider. Like, I don't think it works with box colliders. What I want to do here, I'll put this here as well, just to test it. Hit dot point with this whole phrase, actually. Hit dot point. Not it dot point. Hit. All right, save. We're going to hit play. Let's see what this does. Oh, it actually worked really nicely. All right, cool. So you'll be able to see in extreme scenarios that it's not quite... You can see that there's an offset involved. So so we can actually probably make that offset way tighter too. We can just go to the main camera. That actually worked just fine. All right, let's just go with it then. You can always offset it towards the player as well. I'll leave that exercise to you if you're in a situation where you feel that you need that. So there we go. We have a laser pointer. Still clipping a little bit. Let me just a little bit further. There we go. And so now when you aim at things, you get a little laser dot. Bit of life to it. So that's how you create a laser dot in Unity. Thank you for joining us. Laser dot. So thank you for joining us. Have a great breakfast and enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll catch you tomorrow morning for another episode of Breakfast with Unity. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please email me pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me @Dracfire. And have a good one.